If you want to play me at Topgolf, you're going to get beat. Just ask Coach Joe from Trinity. He can tell you all about it. But if you wrestled this guy in 2023, well, son, you probably got beat. If you would, tell us who you are.
My name is George Ferree, and I'm an alumni from Trinity High School, and I'm a two-time state champion.
2022, 2023 state champion. And in case you're wondering, yes, I think I beat the entire Ferree family last night and Coach Joe at Topgolf. Thank you to the Ferree family for having me. They put me up in the hotel room. They took me to Topgolf and come out victorious. I'm just saying it happened, and we got video evidence to prove it, Your Honor. So George, man, you're a defending state champion coming into your senior season. It's impossible, maybe in the 90s, maybe even in the early 2000s, you could hide a little bit about who you were coming in state champion because social media wasn't what it is today. Information didn't get shared as fast as what it did even 20 years. It's hard to believe. I was here at the state tournament this year, and you graduated in 23. I graduated in 03. I'm sitting there watching everybody wrestle, and I'm like, I've been out of high school 20 years. That does not seem possible. So coming into this season, did it feel like, and I ask everybody this question that's returning champion, did it feel like when you walked into a gym, everybody knew who you were?
You know, I would say coming back from winning a state title, a lot is the same and a lot is different. And what I mean by that is, what stays the same is, actually I'll start with the reverse. What's different is that, you're in a position where now you're defending your title. But I'd say more importantly, you really have to treat it the same. You have to be able to approach it as with the same tenacity that you did to get there in the first place. And, everyone knows that when you're on the top of the mountain, sometimes it's more difficult to defend than
Absolutely.
to get there. And so, it was honestly, it was a little bit stressful, but I'm glad it worked out in the way we planned and everything. But just approaching this year with the same intensity was definitely imperative to me being able to defend what I got.
I don't know who it was that said it. The name escapes me. I'm not trying to plagiarize, but there was a motivational speech. It was like maybe a football team or something to that effect I heard a while back. It was the worst time for a wild animal is right after they've ate. They're full, they're content. That's when they're more likely to be the prey for another or bigger predator, even maybe somebody on their own food chain level, if you will. So the mentality of the champ's not the champ until they defend their title. You hear, I don't know how many MMA fighters have said that, boxing, like Muhammad Ali, I don't know how many times he defended his title, and Mike Tyson, everybody, not just in combative, but like recently we just had the NBA draft. Reed Shepard, a Kentucky kid, got drafted. I think he may have been the same class as you, right? 23?
I believe so,
I think he got drafted like number 4 or 5 in the NBA draft. He's going to have a $100 million NBA contract. Going to be the man. Played at North Laurel High School, Mountains. Well, depends on where you're from, Mountains. I'm from the Hills. North Laurel County, London. It depends on, I guess, depends on how you're raised there. But nevertheless, there's going to be people in the 13th region that played basketball against him for years that are going to say, because he played from like 7th grade on varsity, they blocked a NBA player's shot, or they held him to 35 points, or they stole basketball, or they got more rebounds than he did, or maybe they hurt their ankle the night he come to town, couldn't play. Man, if I'd have played Reed Shepard, he'd have been sitting on the bench. There's something about, especially in combative, the intensity of, I want to knock out Mike Tyson. I want to submit Hoist Gracie back when he was running amok in the UFC back in the early days. I want to beat Muhammad Ali. I want to pin George Ferree. So when you walk into a gym, everybody knows who you are. best hair in the building. I mean, there's no hiding the hair, man. Best hair. Some of the matches I've seen you wrestle was like your hair didn't even move, man. Like it was just like the best. I wish. It must be nice to have hair. As long as you got it, enjoy it, because I'm telling you, it goes. Once it starts going, it goes quick. But did you feel like you walking in, you got shake hands with somebody? Was it did people give you like I'm going to give George 1,000,000%? George is, as some of the people have said, that was my Super Bowl, that was my NBA Finals, that was my championship fight. Did they give you 1,000,000%, or did they like even get beat before the handshake?
I suppose that depends. I mean, I remember when I was a freshman, wrestling people like the state champs. You definitely are aware of who they are and everything, and it's always a good opportunity and everything, and it's usually a pretty exciting matchup. Like my sophomore year, definitely the underdog for that. But like I said in the last video, we were definitely prepared for good matchups and people that were going to wrestle motivated. Our team and our coaches worked so hard to get us a good schedule. Coach Fleming wanted all of us to take a loss at some point in the season to prepare us, because I personally learned more from those 4 losses my senior year. There was 2 in Orlando, 1 in Virginia, and 1 in Indiana. And just wrestling those that tough competition definitely prepared me for tournaments like the state tournament, because also it was really fun for senior year, just going to all those places with the team. I mean, I love those guys, Bean, Lane, Tony, Malachi, everyone on the team. Yeah. I mean, and I believe senior year my losses were to Florida state champ, Florida state runner-up, Maryland state champ, and I can't recall, I think it was like number 7 in the nation.
Wow.
In that modern day finals.
Okay.
So I definitely was prepared by this point, and yeah.
No, man, that's sometimes getting beat can be one of the best things for you. Hey, Superman can bleed, and that is, we never should expect to get beat, but sometimes knowing maybe there is somebody out there, maybe not overall, but maybe I wasn't having my best day, and maybe this guy was having the day of his life. Nevertheless, I'm, looking at the lights. Hey, over here, guys, you've got a light out over here because I got pinned, or I got stuck, or whatever the case is. You zigged when you should have zagged, and it happens. That's part of it. Let's talk about your 2023 bracket. Of course, you're a senior, 165 pounds coming in. Was that a natural weight for you?
Yes.
Or close to it, I should say.
Yeah, so I actually, like I did in between sophomore and junior year, I got back in the gym. I definitely wasn't going to gain as much weight as I did the year before, but I was able to continue my development as an athlete, and I even did track briefly in that off season. Of course there was a little bit of overlap, but had that opportunity, and just once again back to the grind that summer.
I get it, man. I get it. Let's talk about it here real quick. You start off with a fall over Tristan Turner from Perry County Central, 1:53, and Tristan actually is wrestling for UPike. They just University of Pikeville. They started the program a couple years ago. He's wrestling for them. You get a tech fall over Bryce Denneman from Campbell County, 16-0. You win a 5-1 decision over Aiden Zisner from Covington Scott. Aiden goes on to get 6th place. And you're back in the finals, 3rd year in a row. You're wrestling Dalton Matney from Johnson Central. Now, of course, I'm not going to tell you the score. We have the match video and everything goes along with that. Parade of Champions, face-off, match video, medal ceremony, all that. But you're back in the finals, knowing this is it. Win or lose, there's no draw. Win or lose, I will never, ever wear a Trinity wrestling singlet again. I will never, ever get to represent the Shamrocks again in wrestling after this match. Does that hit you before you wrestle? are the nerves still there as the first time as a sophomore? How did it go for you?
Well, definitely before the match, my main focus was, not to think about those kinds of things of, this is the last go around, because the most important thing then was finishing the job and, completing what I did the past 4 years. It all is, this is the pinnacle of it right here. So, there really wasn't much sentiment going into this match because I figured that there would be plenty of time for that later. But at the point of that was, like, what's there to be happy about? The job's not finished, the famous Kobe saying. So that was, we were locked in, and we had 3 guys in the finals and everything, and we were there for business.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you guys have saw Landon Young's current NFL player, 2016 heavyweight state champion, and I asked him kind of roundabout, like, what advice would you give to the youngsters that wants to be a professional athlete, get in the NFL? And without hesitation, I mean, he said, and even off camera, he said it as well, said, never take a practice, never take a snap, never take a rep, never take anything in the professional level for granted, no matter what it is, because you could get a knock on your door, a phone call, a text, you're cut, and there you are. Your career's over. It's done, over. In doing this, the series, everybody that we've met with, whether they've said it on camera or off camera, not necessarily that they want to go back, give up their life they've got now, whether family, kids, their own kids are in school, they're a grandpa, whatever the case is, doctors, attorneys, professional businessmen, whatever the case is, not to go back and let's redo this. They just didn't appreciate what they had at the time. That's what everybody has said in some form is, I wish I would have just appreciated what I had a little bit longer. I wish I could have just really experienced it more or been more grateful for what I was going through then, looking back on it all these years now, seeing my kids get ready for prom or complain about going to practice. Like, son, I will gladly trade places with you. I'll go to practice, you go to work.
One of our team's favorite quotes from Coach Dean, we always used to laugh about this. He was like, you have 4 years to do something cool, and then after that it's just softball and beer league golf. Yeah. And that was true. We thought that was the funniest thing ever, but it's definitely true.
I don't remember, of course, as of this filming, the new NCAA college football game come out, and everybody's been going on about it. There was a gap, all that NIL deals and all that kind of stuff stopped it. But I don't remember what year it was, but there was the opening of the game. Brad Nessler has that quote on the NCAA football game, college football. Freshmen arrive wide-eyed with dreams of future glory while seniors prepare for their last shot at immortality, or something to that effect. I may have got a word or two wrong, but it's the gist of it. And not just with wrestling, but other sports, any sport that's competitive, man. When you put as much into it as you do when you want to be good at it, you don't want to just participate. You want to have your own banner. You want to be remembered. You want to have a trophy named after you or an award or whatever the case is. That it truly is that senior year, man. You can, not just with you can impact the next generation coming up. You can not just maybe within the Trinity program, but like J.J. Jude, a two-time state champion, Johnson Central, 2011, 2012. He currently holds the state rushing record yards in football for a career and a single game. He was, I don't know what grade he would have been in. It was the 2006 season. Good friend of the channel, Ozzie Parker from LaRue County, won state championship that year. And JJ, before we done his video, I remember him talking about this for a long time, how seeing Ozzie come out at the dungeon, the big hood on, run out, how cool that was just to see just the way Ozzie, I guess, embraced it, him running out. It's like, man, I remember being a kid, man, watching Ozzie run out. I thought that was the coolest thing. I wanted to do that. And how, whether you know these people or not, whether you've ever met them, whether they just watched you wrestle, like, man, remember that time we watched George wrestle? Remember that time, he done this or he done that? And that's what we love about the series is the reach that this series has gotten, the number of people that have been able to watch the videos, hear the stories of people they maybe live in the same house with, or people maybe they've never even met before. Like, man, that was so cool to watch this or hear this story, and to know this is it. My legacy ends at this match as far as wrestling goes. If more people could just grasp that, I think we would have a much better, not saying the finals aren't good, but sometimes people, kind of laissez-faire, lackadaisical, whatever. Yeah, let's get it done, man. I can't wait to get on with my life. I can't wait to start working, or I was ready for the next chapter. As I think it was Sean Payton in the video, the music video for The Boys of Fall with Kenny Chesney. He's talking to his old high school team. They're giving a speech there in the locker room. He's talking to them about these Friday nights, once they're gone, they're gone. You're still going to get that feeling. It'll come, but you don't get it as often as you used to. When you get married, when you have your kids, when maybe your first day on a new job of your career, maybe you get a bad phone call, whatever, you're still going to get those nerves.
Yeah.
But they don't come as often. And if more people could just appreciate what they have when they have it, I think high school athletics on the whole would be so much more, not saying they're not enjoyable now, but it is kind of a grind, a long season, not just with wrestling, basketball, football, baseball, softball, soccer, whatever your sport is. It's a grind. It's not always fun to go to practice. But if you just appreciate it, because when you get out for a few years and you're having to work a job maybe you don't like, or maybe life hasn't gone the way you thought it was going to for you, you're going to look back and be like, man, I had it made.
Yeah.
If I could just go back for a day, just to live that 17, 18-year-old life of complaining to mom and dad, whoever it is that's raising you, wherever you're living at, about picking me up from practice, or I need money for, to go eat with the team or whatever.
There's a lot of good memories that I'll always, hold fondly. And, among those, obviously winning state titles is a feeling like no other, but one of the other things is, I'll always remember those moments with the team, in here grinding every day, me and Lane just drilling partners, and, the times we went out to eat as a team and everything, those are really special. And something cool that we do at Trinity is a senior retreat program, and it really gives you a sense of appreciation for the whole community and everything.
One quick story here about what we've done with it, and we'll get into your medals. We done the 1979 team review with Boone County High School, and the gentleman's name, I'm sorry, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but he flew in that morning from Texas. He flew into the Cincinnati airport there in northern Kentucky and done the video. And when he told me he flew in, I was like, what? You flew in from Texas? And I couldn't believe it. He was like, Alex, nobody's ever done this for us. Nobody's ever highlighted this like you're going to. I've watched some of your videos. I can't believe that you're actually going to do a video about us. Their coach was there. I think everybody but one team member was there. And I was like, this matters to people. The series matters. What we've been able to do matters to people. But you got to think, all those guys were in their 60s, mid-60s. Some of them hadn't seen each other in 25, 30 years, they said. I got a photo with them. But to hear them talk, it was like they just got done with practice 2 hours before. The way they were talking about this and going on. It was just like watching 17, 18-year-old kids in practice the way they was going on with each other.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say that this series is really important to a lot of people. It's keeping a lot of stories alive and bringing back a lot of memories. And so, thank you to you for all the work you put into this.
I appreciate that, man. It's been a labor of love, and it's I want wrestling to be respected. I wanted it to be the talk, man. You go into gyms, and no offense to schools that do this. Hopefully we can get you to change the way you see wrestling. But you go into gyms, you go into schools, that have state champions, and there's hardly little to no recognition of the state championships that they've won. Certain sports, we're not going to say which ones, you can kind of get it. They win the district tournament, they get huge photos up on the wall, banners, regional tournaments, whatever. Wrestling, they could have state champions, they might get a plaque, maybe. Maybe. Some schools are like that. Some schools really embrace it. Campbell County does, I know. Trinity does. I've been to their school. Connor, Christian County, Johnson Central. Some schools, you wouldn't even know they have mats. And as long as I'm sitting in this seat, as long as I'm the personality, the face, the voice of this series, and the personality people associate with Kentucky wrestling, I promise you, Kentucky wrestling, we will not take a back seat to anybody. I don't care what sport it is, what state it is. We're leading the charge, and like I've said in other videos, I want other states to be like, why aren't we doing what Kentucky's doing? Why aren't we doing, and Trinity's mat room is beautiful. The campus is absolutely beautiful. Every part of the state isn't like this. You guys are blessed here. You really are with your donors and your funding and the facilities that you have. Some schools aren't. And not just with that, but you look at some of the metrics, some like best places to live, best places to work, income, median household income, whatever. Kentucky always is 48th, 49th. God bless Mississippi and Louisiana. They're always there at the bottom. And when it comes to wrestling, we're number one, and it's not even close. What we've been able to do, and I say we, it's a community. It's not Alex Green's channel. It's the entire Kentucky wrestling community. Whether you wrestled or not, whether you enjoyed the videos, you have somebody that currently wrestling, you're a coach, a former wrestler, referee, table worker, whoever. If you just enjoy the series, enjoy the stories like George's, it's your series. I'm just grateful to be in the seat, man, letting the world know Kentucky wrestling's got it going on.
I would like to make a point about that is, Kentucky wrestling is, I've talked about this a lot with my fellow teammates. It's really a close-knit community, I would say. I mean, all the big names around the state, we're all familiar with each other. We've all gotten some roles in at practice across the state, or we've all trained or talked and everything. And, oftentimes at tournaments you can talk to people from other teams and everything, and we all know each other and we're all familiar with each other. Because there's always a sense of mutual respect in wrestling, because everyone knows how tough of a sport it is, and so there are guys from all across the state that we're all close and friends, and that's just one of the things that makes wrestling and the close-knit community that you're talking about pretty special.
And I think that's what's made this channel successful thus far. And of course, we're not even starting to grow yet. We're still laying the groundwork for what we're doing, and the response has been absolutely phenomenal. But I've been as far west as Christian County, Hopkinsville. I've been Northern Kentucky, Campbell County, Simon Kenton, Connor. Been to the barn there at Jason's house, Jason Spencer, Emma, Ryan's house, all that. Been to Wayne County, Lexington, Louisville, Johnson Central, Martin County. I mean, I've been all over the state. Harrison County, just the locations, not necessarily all the schools, but just places I've been to. People's homes, people's mat rooms, people's schools. And you hear pretty much the same story. Like you said, we all know what we go through. Cutting weight isn't fun. Cutting weight in Trinity is still the same cutting weight as it is in Christian County. Push-ups are still the same in Trinity's mat room as they are in Harrison County's. Drills are still the same. 2 minutes is still 2 minutes. You know what I mean? 6-minute match here is still the same 6-minute match as it would be across the city in St. Xavier's mat room. It's a close community. We're growing. We're a close-knit community, and I'm just glad that we're able to tell the stories. So, George, man, we've got some medals, some rings, some trophies to show off. We're going to get those set. We'll see you guys there. Now, of course, like we said in George's 22 video, when you're as good as George is, you get all kinds of cool medals and trophies and awards, and we got a few things here we're going to start off with. You were you guys see a photo of this, I want to read it. The Midway University 2023 Wrestling Male Student Athlete of the Year. presented to the student athlete who exemplifies outstanding athletic performance, community service, leadership, and academic achievement in his sport. It should say the best hair as well. It doesn't, but it should. Man, it's kind of cool that, so, like, did they contact you? Was this select? Did you have to apply for it? How did it go for you?
I'm not exactly sure who nominated me for that, but I remember seeing it on Twitter, and I think I was in school when I saw that one, and
that's cool.
It was an honor.
And this, we can't show you I have to blur some stuff out here. This is a letter that he got from Dan Gable. I think I've heard of him before. I don't know where, but that name does ring a bell. Something to do with wrestling, I think. I have to do some research on that name, Dan Gable. How cool is it to get a letter from his home address to your home address? And it's what, for the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum, being the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award. I mean, look at this. Get the light out of the glare here. Check that out, man. That is so cool. Presented for excellence in wrestling, scholastic activity, character, citizenship, community service, and hair. It doesn't say hair, but I'm going to keep throwing that in.
We'll add that to the criteria.
We'll add that in. So, man, talk to us about this and what's the story?
So, that was another award that I found out about when I was in school. But that one was really special. I need to definitely make a trip over to Stillwater, Oklahoma, I believe is where it is, to find my name in that museum.
And of course, you guys will see. We'll blur out the address. We don't want everybody sending George fan mail here. But man, you've got two like prestigious awards. Just like, do they call you to the office? Attention students, George Ferree, please come to the office. George Ferree, or how'd it go?
It's just kind of something that those were mainly found out through like social media and stuff. But all throughout high school, Trinity gave me a lot of opportunities to not only excel as an athlete, but also academically and in leadership. And so at the start of that senior year, we worked, me and a few of my leaders in student government worked on this service project where we raised thousands of pounds of canned goods and thousands of dollars for the homeless community in Louisville. And so stuff like that is definitely helped in, I guess, the criteria of getting these awards, but more importantly, we were able to make a difference. And I think that, I'm very grateful that Trinity gave me the resources to be able to do things like that. Man, that's cool that you guys are able to do that. And you also, with that Midway Award, you guys are going to see, you got this from Commissioner Julian Tackett. There's that, but you'll see a better photo of it. Midway University KHSAA Overall Student Athlete of the Year 2022-2023. It's kind of cool. That was a nice ceremony. There was the respective athletes of the year for each sport, and they had this nice ceremony where they named the overall athlete of the year.
I'm searching for your other. You got this. No, go ahead. I just wanted to go ahead and get this pulled up. So everybody was there. It was a big ceremony. Yeah. Was it in Lexington?
It was. If Midway's a town, I believe is.
Then that's in Woodford County. So okay, close enough to Lexington. Yeah. I get it. Now, of course, you get another. And this is a different one, guys. This isn't the same. 2023, 165-pound state champion. Another big trophy to add to the mantle. So it's kind of cool, man. You got two of these. I don't think Alex Ray has two of them. He's got one. He can't do a back. Maybe if you can do a backflip, Alex Ray, you could get one. I think that needs to be something that we look at doing, getting him a backflip award. And of course, your state championship medal there, 2023, and the Coaches Association and the Wrestling Association plaque. It's kind of cool. Maybe when you get a little bit, get out of college, get your own profession, whatever, put them up on your wall, people walk in, hey, I didn't know you were the state champion. Yeah, anytime y'all want, need to know what's up, just you let me know. And in your 22 video, we talked about it. I would have to imagine you got another ring to show off.
Yes.
So let's take a peek at that.
If I can get it off here, yeah. So with this one,
this one's cool, guys.
We had the shamrock. If you can see it from here.
We'll put photos in.
And it bears the phrase "Maximo Animi Ardore," which is our big saying here at Trinity: "Maximum effort of the soul."
Maximum effort of the soul. I like that. And of course, it's got the gold. And so you got two of those, man. Do you pick one like to wear? Do you wear both of them when you go out, or how's it go? There's that iconic photo of, was it Tom Brady done one, and I think Joe Montana, Super Bowl rings. Hey, how many rings does it take for me to get to answer the phone? At least two. So it's kind of cool, man. You got both of them.
I don't wear them too often, but I usually wear them together. I got this second one a little more recently. Mm-hmm. But like you were mentioning in the last video, it's a good reminder. You definitely don't do this for, the plaques or the trophies. I mean, it's definitely, and this might be a little cliche, but it's always going to be, the achievement itself that you value more than these things that we pursue to remind us of it.
And you can always look down and say, I know what my best is. I know what my best is, and I've been able to pull it out twice. Let's get, whatever it is, let's do it. It can't be harder in wrestling practice. It can't be harder than winning a state championship. And to that, another one of the wrestling specific trophies here that we get is the bracket. Now we're going to cover up how you win this one. We don't want everybody, of course, you probably already know anyway, but we don't want to we don't want to spoil it. And it's cool, man. You got this, such a great, just wrestling specific type of trophy that you get. So, George, man, I think we've talked enough about it. We have the Parade of Champions, the face-off match, and medal ceremony. So we're going to move some stuff out of the way. Go back to February 2023, Win City, Kentucky, as they call it. I think there's some people that call it the Sinchester. We're going to go back to GRC's gym. We'll see you guys in 2023. So, George, man, we've done a lot of Trinity review videos. Benny Barton, Keegan Duncan, Alex Ray, Bo Hoffman, Mike Clark, Grant Ullman. It seems like there's a lot of teams have final singlets. We know Mike Clark wrestled in a white singlet. A couple other guys we've done videos wrestled in a white. And I love that look of like a white final singlet, school colors blended in, but that white, they just look so sharp out there. I believe in the 22 video you wore a black singlet, correct? Yep. And then of course you guys will see the black singlet in this match. Was that something that you guys just kind of decided on, or how did it go for you?
So my junior year, I just wore the everyday black singlet with the green tee and stuff. We had two that we kind of rotated depending on if we had 2-day tournaments. But going into senior year, it was time for us to change up our singlets and get a new set. And thanks to a family family friend donor that was able to help us get those new singlets. We were designing them, and we were like, okay, we have our black singlet, black and green, and we had the Trinity crest on the front, and we have our white one, and we wanted to do a third one, so we're like, all right, let's do a final singlet. Let's go white with silver accents, so that there wasn't any green. It would be sharp. And then we thought a little more about, why don't we be different? Everyone always wears white in the finals. Why don't we go with that blackout look? So if you look closely at the singlets, there's no green accents on it at all, and we thought it was a good contrast to all of the white final singlets, and it was definitely breaking the mold a little bit. Yeah. So
no, talk about leaving a legacy, man. Maybe you started something. A lot of football teams now are going like to the blackout. They have a game blackout. The whole fan base wears black, and I think Tennessee's probably the most famous, like the dark mode that they done. Even though we hate Tennessee here in the state of Kentucky, that it was still sharp. I mean, I can't. Those uniforms outside of that daggone vomit-inducing shade of orange they have, those uniforms were sharp. So maybe the blackout is something you guys, got started. So we have the Parade of Champions, the face-off, the match, and medal ceremony. Let's go. Here comes the 165s. Like she didn't, had to point y'all which way to go. Come on, what are we doing here? Now, where are you at?
I believe I'm towards the back.
Okay.
And the Parade of Champions
Is this you right there?
Yes.
Behind the guy with the red shorts, and then of course you got Dalton Matney there with the yellow sleeves.
It's always a cool moment to kind of take everything in. It's also a little bit tense if you think about everyone that we're about to wrestle standing together, but it's pretty interesting.
Now this is my expert camera work here.
They actually pulled those bleachers down this year, which I thought was really cool.
At the 165-pound weight class, from Louisville Trinity, a senior with a record of 49-4, Ferree. From Johnson Central, a freshman with a record of 45-9, Dalton Matney.
Of course, Dalton this year he's a freshman here.
157-pound weight class, a senior from.
There you go. You got Mr. Joe Catan as your head official, and you got it's like John Eshin as your assistant. So two really good refs, two good friends of mine out there. You can tell, man. The singlet's black. You can tell.
Now wrestling on the main man, 165-pound weight class from Louisville Trinity, Ferree, and from Johnson Central, Dalton Matney.
Let's get it on. We've done a video with the announcer there, Dave Dawson, LaRue County. So, right out of the gate, you lock up with him and get a pretty easy takedown. No other way to say it. I mean, you get a pretty easy takedown there. And it's a lot different than the match the previous year.
I think in that year, in between those two matches, I was able to really develop and settle into a good style.
And so he gets up, gets his one. Not the end of the world.
As you'll see, my go-to here really was that snap down. That's what I stuck with mainly throughout the whole tournament.
It's effective for you. So you get it again, good snap down.
I tried to transition into a headlock, and then I figured I would just get my go behind.
And I was sitting right here, and as soon as you pull that arm across, I'm like, uh-oh, I know what's coming. And you lock up I guess you guys call it a stud cradle?
Yeah, or cross-face cradle.
Oh, cross-face cradle.
That was a big move for our team.
You get the fall, man. 1 minute, 26 seconds.
You're counting up the 2 titles.
Yep. 2. Get your hand raised there. And of course, here we got the medal ceremony. Of course, those of you that don't know, Dalton is the son of longtime coach at Sheldon Clark and John Central, Jim Matney, who passed away on us in September of 21. Here you come, man. Now, I was going to ask you, like, you're not wearing your warm-ups, your singlet. Was that on purpose?
I thought it would be a good podium look if I just stayed in the black.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
There's Coach Lemon handing me the stuff.
Yep.
I'd say this is probably when what we were talking about, the emotions of everything finally setting in.
Because this is it, man. Kentucky's Most Wanted there on the podium, looks like. If you see any of these individuals, contact your local U.S. consulate or FBI office. Excellent performance. What a way to go out as a senior. with a fall in the state championship, 2-time state champion. I mean, what a bow for your career, right? When you're sitting there in the chair before you get that medal, you talked this a little bit, but are you like, I'm happy that I won, or I'm sad it's over?
You know, a little bit of both.
Now, you can't be both. You got to be either or here.
Well, you know, it's hard exactly, you know, what to say. How I was feeling. You know, I was definitely very happy about the title, and our team had like a pretty emotional last huddle up. All of the seniors, and everything like that. You know, we knew that you know, things were definitely changing from that point forward, but just you know, now after the matches, after all the matches, it was the time to be sentimental and everything. Yeah. You know, we got the job done, and my teammates in the finals all had really good matches too, and we were all really proud of, you know, how hard everyone worked. And
yeah. No, and there's that great scene in the movie Vision Quest where they're going to a meet, and this time next year I'll be in the Navy. And it's so crazy just how after, you know, you graduate, life takes us our separate ways. How that this truly is the last time we'll be together. 5-year reunion, 10-year, go to somebody's house even the next weekend, but it's not the same. Wrestling season's over, and that bond of going to practice every day and seeing the same people every day, having the same drill partner, or the, you know, 2 or 3 drill partners, whatever it may be, is kind of over as you guys know it. And it's a special, it truly is just a special time. So the wrestling career may have ended here, but your athletic career didn't end. Kind of walk us through what you've been doing away from the mats, man.
So, you know, a lot of people told me that, you know, you can't stay away from, you know, competing as an athlete forever. I mean, that's just your nature. That's just who you are.
Yep.
And it was around this time I accepted a academic scholarship to go to Center College, which of course doesn't have a wrestling team. And you know, my goal getting on campus was, you know, we're on the pre-med route, you know, so we're gonna really lock in academically and go with that. And a few of the people in my dorm hall did track, and so I talked to them and see if they could get me connected with the coach, and decided to take up the decathlon this past year, and was able to, you know, go to the conference championship meet and score some points for the team, and that was a good outlet for me.
No, I get it.
In my time missing wrestling and everything, and missing competing, it was a good chance to, you know, get back into it.
And talking about competing, you hear like these NFL players, NBA, like Shaq is a DJ now. I think it's Shaq Diesel or DJ Diesel, whatever he goes by, and he'll tell you, like in videos or interviews stuff, I don't necessarily like DJing. I just miss that feeling of competing, getting out there and being in front of people and giving my best. And I can see how that gets in their blood, especially doing it on the level that they do it. And it's hard to give something up, man, when you know you've still got the drive. You know what I mean? We're not just beating people at Topgolf. You know, we're actually competing collegiately. We're on a varsity, earning a varsity letter at the collegiate level. And I don't have the number in front of me, but the number of student athletes that go on from high school to compete at any level of college, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever it is, junior college, is a very, 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 very small number, as opposed to the number of high schoolers that do compete in sports across the country. So, man, you know, can't wait to see great things from you on the. Now, what is give us for those that don't know, the decathlon? What activities, I should say, encompass?
So the decathlon is a 2-day event that encompasses 10 different track events, and it's the 100 meter, then long jump, shot put, high jump, the 400 meter, and that concludes day 1. And then day 2 starts with the 110 meter hurdles, then discus, and then pole vault, javelin, and then the 1500.
So pretty much you're doing all the track and field events.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool, man. That is a good way to make you feel like you've been in a wrestling practice or wrestling meet. So George, man, between your 22 video and 23 video, we've covered a lot of ground, a lot of territory. Before we wrap this one up, anything you'd like to say, add, take away, tell Alex Ferree how bad his backflip is, or anything of that nature? Because I mean, you know, you've got a great story. We just don't want to make sure you have your time to give your well wishes, man.
Well, I'll start with some advice, and
Okay.
then I want to read from a list of people that I want to thank.
Absolutely.
I'd first like to talk about something we mentioned in the last video where I actually didn't place in the top 6 at all in middle school. And, you know, I would say that, you know, I don't know if there's a statistic to measure this, but, you know, that's pretty unusual for people that go on to win state titles in high school.
Right.
And I guess the message to, you know, anyone, whether, even if you're still in high school and you're not really where you want to be in the sport, you know, there, even if, you know, you think the odds are stacked against you, as they are sometimes, you know, there's no replacement for just putting your very soul into the goals that you want to achieve. And that can get you a long way, even if, you know, where you are right now isn't where you want to be. And
Absolutely.
one more thing I would like to say is you need to definitely find a group of people like coaches and friends and family that can really support you and rally around you.
Yep.
Because no one ever gets anywhere on their own. And so I've been all over this part of the country going to camps and tournaments, and every now and then I pick up something here and there, and just I'd say that the end product, the 2 state championships, is just the sum of a lot of experiences, a lot of people met, a lot of coaches over the course of many years. So, you know, the sport's a ride, and, you know, just if you have the opportunity to be on it, you got to appreciate it.
And while you mention that, I'm going to pull up a list here. Now, Trinity, 3 team state championships, 1989, 2009, 2010, 42 individual state champions. Now, I'm going to pull up a list here of the videos for the Trinity state champions that I have. And if I read your name off, your state championship is vacated officially until you do your review video with me. 2020, Ty Lehman. 2014 and 15, Tyler Frank Rome. 2012 and 2013, Bobby Bryant. 2012, Brent Hitchings. 2010, 2011, 2012, 2009, John Fahey. 2009, 2010, Myron Bradbury. Brad Hitchings in 09 and 10. 2005, Tony McDermott. 1991, 1990, Brian Selke. 1990, Mark Selke. 1986, Adam Alstott. And then 1969, Craig Kissel, which is Trinity's first state champion. We have that video. So all you guys, until you do your review video with me, your state championship, vacated. Get at me. George has my contact info. Get me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, however you want to contact me. Get up with me, man. I want to get y'all on the channel. I want to get the Shamrocks represented. Now, George, I believe you've got some people you'd like to say thank you to. So, my friend, go ahead.
I have a list here that I'm just going to read from, and I know I'm probably forgetting someone, so I apologize. But first and foremost, I want to thank my dad for getting me into wrestling and all those early mornings, driving to youth tournaments, and being a constant supporter of mine. And then Coach Fleming and Coach Dean, the corner crew, they were with me for both of the titles and really developed me from, you know, the freshman that got 4th to winning in the end. And all of the coaching staff, Coach Joe, Coach Makoto, Coach Gould, Coach Trevor, Coach Botts, Coach Boston with ETC, and Coach John Fahey, and Coach Hudson Heidorf, and the entire coaching staff. And all the older Shamrocks that came back to help, like Ben Barton and Keegan Duncan and Tyler Frankrown, that came back to kind of pay it back, and all the support that they gave us and all the technical help that they helped with our training. And then in the Invicta guys, Coach Knabel and Coach Krazig, for being good mentors to me, helping me train in the off season, and supporting me. And also my Shamrock Wrestling Club coaches from middle school and elementary school, Coach Doug and Colonel Hedges, for being one of the main reasons that I even got into the sport. Coach Mike, Coach Alex, Jesse Tarango, Coach Bo, Coach Carl, thank you guys. Thank you to you for doing this video. All the family and friends that came to support me, and my teammate and brother Jack Ferree, regional champion, I think, or regional runner-up, I believe, for that 2021 year. And lastly, the Trinity community, Dr. Mullen, Coach Saxton, Coach Duggins, and all of my classmates in the hallways, and just everything that you guys did to remind me that you guys are thinking of me and supporting me. And my teachers and mentors, like Coach Bowles, Coach Hulsknecht, Coach Norman, just the ones that I would see every day like that always letting me know that they're supporting me. And once again, I know I'm forgetting someone, but thank you to all of those people, and I couldn't have done it without your help.
And you said Hudson Hydorf, your championship's vacated as well. We just don't have your video yet, so you're supposed to have it. You're vacated. Man, that was a great list. It's not just, you might be the one out there competing, but you've got so many other people behind you. Not just you, but the communities as well. You go to a state tournament or any meet, and you see wrestling moms, wrestling dads, aunts, grandparents, whoever it may be, brothers, sisters, bringing snacks in, maybe even a TV to plug stuff, watch stuff, make sure everybody's got their headgear. Hey, don't forget your headgear. What are you doing? Mouthpiece, little things like that. People don't understand how much goes in, not just to having a team, having a program, setting up the gym, moving mats, getting mats moved to one place to another, travel arrangements. I mean, it just doesn't fall into place. You got to have a great support staff, and Trinity has as good of or a support system, I should say, a program as you can find anywhere, man. So
another thing, sorry to interrupt.
No, absolutely.
Forgot to mention is just the importance of my faith and God and Jesus Christ, and being centered and grounded in such a thing is also really important to any journey like this. So I'd also like to mention my faith as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, man. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've said all we need to say, covered all we need to cover. It's just a great story of yours, two-time state champion. We've been working on this for a pretty good while. Was able to get you lined up, and it was fun, beating everybody at Top Golf last night. Not to brag, not to brag. You guys will never hear the end of me winning Top Golf, the Ferree family Top Golf night. It was pretty cool. I feel like I was playing a road game. I was on a road course in Louisville. Had the deck stacked against me, but I was able to power through it, man. Felt pretty good. Oh man, for real, thank you for having me. It was great to be back up here, and you guys put me up in the hotel. Had two good days with you all, and just a great story to tell, George, man.
Thank you for coming up.
Hey man, anytime. You got to have to come to the hills sometime and hang out with me for a little bit, show you how things go, in the 606, you know what I mean? I'd love to have you all. But that's all that we have. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.